One of the fastest ways to actually change is through action. Action is literally like the precursor to every change that takes place in your life. Like when I was in high school, I wasn't doing shit. I wasn't taking tests. I wasn't doing my homework. I wasn't doing anything like that other than literally smoking weed every single day with my friends. That's all we did. Literally from first period to last period, like we'd go to class, we wouldn't even pay attention. And we would just go and hang out and smoke and not do anything other than that. Because we were too comfortable. We were literally too comfortable in our lives. Like we grew up in a nice area. People had money. People had things that they wanted. Life was good. Living in gated communities, multi-million-dollar homes. Everything was fine. And we went throughout high school living like that. And then once it came time to go to college, senior year, it was like, oh no, I don't even have the grades. I didn't even take the SAT or the ACT. I don't have any options. Why? It's because of the actions that I was taking didn't lead to the options that would give me an education, a college of my choice, an actual path, an actual future. So the actions that I was taking at that time got me the results that I got. So I had to change those actions. And you know what I did? On like a month or two before, I remember I was smoking with some of my friends and they were like, hey, how long do you think you'll smoke for? And one of my friends said, oh, I'm gonna be that guy like smoking with my grandkids, and we're gonna be smoking together, and we'll be reminiscing. I'm gonna be telling them stories about times like now when we were in high school. And it came to me, and I was just like, oh, I'm not gonna do this after high school. And everyone was like, what? Like, they weren't on that vibe. And I just knew in my mind that I was like, on graduation day, I'm going to stop. That's it. Like I committed, I made the decision. I was like, this isn't getting me what I wanted, because all my friends, somehow they did their homework, took their tests, and they were going to different community colleges, and things like that. And they had a path, whether it wasn't Harvard, but they were going to like U of A, San Francisco, different community colleges, right? So they actually had a direction of where they were going. I didn't. I had no clue because I wasn't even thinking about any of that. So I said, yeah, on graduation, it's going to be my last day of smoking. So on that day, we all got together. It was graduation day. We went to a party. We're having a great time. And I knew that it was the end for me of that whole segment of my life. Like the people, the things I was doing, the actions that I was taking. So on that day, I quit. And the next day, I didn't do it. I stopped hanging out with those people. I stopped being in touch with them because you know what? That was the only thing that was keeping us together. That was the only thing that was keeping us being friends. You may be like that. Whether it's you're going and drinking or going to the strip club or doing drugs with your friends, that's the only thing that's really keeping that bond together with them. It's the actions that you are taking. You guys are partaking in these actions that are fun, that you both have invested or have interest in, and you guys like doing it, and you guys only are with each other for that. So when I stopped smoking, none of my friends even hit me up. They didn't even want to be around me because I wasn't doing what they wanted to do. So a few weeks into that, I was like, oh no, like, wow, like it really opened my eyes. Like, wow, they don't even care to be my friend or be around me if I'm not doing what they're doing. Like, holy shit, that's crazy. Meanwhile, I thought we were friends and stuff, but that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So I knew that those actions were not getting me what I wanted. So I had to change. I had to change those actions. And then I went on to going to a community college. That wasn't getting me where I wanted to go. And then I got into real estate with my dad in a successful brokerage, did that with him for some time. And then things were going well, but I knew that there was something more in my life. So I knew I had to change my actions. So I went to a real estate meeting, planned to speak, get in front of the room, share about these properties that I had listed, and I couldn't. So what happened? I realized I had to start taking different actions. I looked up Toastmasters and started developing myself as a public speaker. I had to take different actions. And as difficult and uncomfortable as they were, I knew that those were the actions that I needed to take to push me in the direction that I wanted to go, to be the person that I see myself as. And now, 2 years later, I'm speaking 5 to 7 times a week, motivating, inspiring people, speaking to people online. I'm a personal development coach, helping people all around the world develop themselves and live in alignment with their higher self. And it comes from the actions that we take. And yes, they are uncomfortable when you first get started. But over time, you start to actually enjoy that process because you know it's creating a greater good in you and in your life. And that's the dedication that we must have, the commitment that we must have in these actions, because that is what actually creates the change in your life. It's the actions. I can't just sit here and talk to you about how, oh, I'm going to go speak to this group or help this person in their life. I have to actually do it, to act on it. And that's where the change takes place. Just me sharing this video with you right now, that's an action that I'm taking that's helping you and benefiting you in your life. So you may be thinking about something that you want in your life, you may be visualizing it, imagining it, but it's going to come into fruition through the actions that you take. So think about the actions that you have to take. Think about it. And I've created something that's called the Freedom List. And so at the end of every day, you write out 5 things that you have to do the next day. And then when the next day comes and you do those things, you cross them off and you put a W on them. Cross them off and put a W on each one. It doesn't have to be in order, just as whenever you get those things done throughout the day. Now, these aren't goals. These are critical tasks that you have to do. Action steps that you have to do that are going to push you in the direction that you want to go. And if you do those 5 things every day, you have the rest of your day to do whatever you want. But if you do those 5 things day in and day out, you start creating new tasks at the end of every day, it's going to push you in the direction that you want to go. Those are the action steps that you must take that are going to create the future that you want. So that's the name of the game. Action, action, action. You could talk about it, people could talk about it all day, but it's action that really makes the dream into reality. So let's go out there and let's get it.